Hello. Yeah, this is a quick video to sort of introduce myself. Please pardon me, I've never done anything live before. I'm quite nervous. But yeah, thank you for joining my community on school. Um, I do aim that, it gives you value for your time and, all of that. I am fully sure most people a lot of people call me Flo. That's absolutely fine. Um, and a little bit about me. I am a UK registered paramedic. I work as a functional assessor. I've had some time off. I am literally just starting again, which is great. Um, I I am in my late 30s. I'm a mom. My son's going to be 18 next month. Ooh, that feels real, but yeah. I am my mom's last child. I have one full sibling and three half siblings from my dad. Right? I love all my siblings. Um, and yeah, that's a little bit about my personal life and work. It's yes, I enjoy working with people. I have done all sorts of work. I've done care and um support work a lot in the past. I think I've probably been doing it since about 2007, 2008, at least that time. I've been in the care industry. I then, for a time, I left and went into the formal central London job, and I was working as an um, asset coordinator for Crossrail. If you know Crossrail, it's when they were building the Crossrail, which is going to be a fast train around UK and stuff like that, Crossrail and HS2. And I remember one day at work, because I was never really happy in the job. It paid me well. Oof. I was working in central London, I was in Canary Wharf, I was on the 28th floor. I mean, the prestige that comes with all of that. I take the tube and the overground, and, I was feeling like, but I just wasn't happy. There wasn't any joy. So um, I then I can remember sitting at home one day and saying, "Do you know what? I know I want to study something in health. I had studied chemistry and forensic science in the past, but when I finished, I think I was more discouraged about the salary, and then I lost interest in the job because what I would be earning wasn't good, and it wasn't the type of money I wanted to earn. Okay, so I crossed into asset management and stuff like that. So I remember sitting down at home one day and thinking, at the time I lived in Croydon, and thinking, this isn't the life I want for myself. Not only financially, but also I wasn't in a job I enjoy. I do love to do what I enjoy. So I was just looking and I thought, you know what, I want to go and study some health course. I've always wanted to be in health. Always. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor. Can see from doctor to this. Anyway, so what I then did was I was looking at universities that went too far, but not inside London. I landed on University of Greenwich Medway, and they were having open day like a week after that. And I thought, you know what, I'll go and have a look. I was actually going to work another year and save before I went to uni, but I got there and I wasn't actually going to the paramedic stand. I was more about geography. Um, I don't know. And I passed through the paramedic stand, and the lovely man there just said, "Oh, would you like to see what this is about?" Like, and I'm like, do you know what? I have never really thought what goes into this, and I'm like, okay, I will. And he was like, oh, that's great. A session is starting in 5 minutes. Go to this room, blah blah blah. This is how you get there, and that was it for me. I sat in that session and I didn't go to another stand. I just knew I wanted to be a paramedic. Um, the caveat though was if I started that year, I'd be getting sponsored by the NHS England. But if I waited till the next year, um, I would pay, which would mean second major student loan. Also, I could get sponsored if I went to that university in Kent, rather than if I went to the university in London. It's the same University of Greenwich, but they have three campuses. Two of them they do paramedic art. So the London one, which is Avery Hill, I could go there, but I'd be paying. And if I went to Medway, I'd get sponsor. So at this point, I thought, this is a good idea. I think I went about April, May, and it was starting in September. And I spoke to the head of department, and I said, I haven't done an application. I've studied chemistry and forensic science in the past. My GCSE O level is from Nigeria. Do you think I stand a chance? And he went, yeah, send an application in. We'll look at it like every other person. Just make sure you send your application in as soon as possible because these courses are competitive, blah blah blah. Anyway, I went, and over that weekend, before the midweek the next week, I submitted my application in. And to God be the glory, I got called for an interview, and then I got accepted on the course, and I was like, no, that didn't seem real. But anyway, come September, it was real. I started uni. I was driving from Croydon to Dartford, and when placement started, I was going a lot. I was doing nights and all of that, knowing fully well that I've got a child as well. I'm a single mom, so it was very tough. It was difficult, and to even make matters worse, by the time I started second year, the university, NHS England, refused to pay my childcare. So at this point, I had to do a full time work. So I was working with the NHS. I was doing a call handler role with mental health service. Again, at this point, I had moved to Dartford. I'm sorry to bore you. I just, want you to know a little bit about me. I am human. So I did that. I worked full time. I went to uni full time. I was doing placements in between. And I'm a single mom. Yes, I had help. I had help with my son. I couldn't have done it without the help of the people that were around me. So thank you very much. Anyway, I graduated, and unfortunately, the same year I graduated, in fact, just before I graduated, about 3 months before, I got caught by the police for speeding. Mm. Right. So I got 6 points was taken off my license, and you can work with NHS ambulance service if you had more than 3 points on your license. I called every ambulance service in the UK, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, England. I called every single ambulance service, and they refused. They said they can't insure me. So as I was searching, I found a private company. Up until then, I didn't know that there were private companies that do ambulance. But anyway, thank God I found them. They were happy to take me as long as I don't get any more points, and they would check every 3 months to make sure I was, and all of that. I was happy. Unfortunately, because NHS had given me a job in Kent to stay with the ambulance service, but because of the points, I couldn't. The offer was rescinded. So because of that, I couldn't work in Kent, and the next place I could work in was either Essex or Hampshire. I had lived in Essex before. I didn't want to go to Essex, so I chose Hampshire. So I went to Hampshire, and by God's grace, to God's glory, I flourished there. I started on the 1st of March, and we went into 2020. I went to lockdown on the 23rd. So I went out straight into lockdown. You have 6 weeks training before you start. That's really to understand. I know you've gone 3 years in uni, but you've got the 6 weeks again where there is always a paramedic with you. So you build your confidence. So, and then you learn driving as well in that 6 weeks. So by the time I finished my 6 weeks in mid-April, it was COVID. And then I went all the way straight into being the lead paramedic, because there was two. The other person in most cases was a lower rank. It built my confidence. It built my resistance. I Rules were changing every day. I had to keep up with the news, keep up with the work, keep up with my son. But thank God I did it. And by 2021 December, I had had enough of the ambulance service. Not because I hate it. I absolutely enjoy being a paramedic, but because it was tedious. It was tough. It was really, really tasking. And being in the private ambulance service, I I learned about other opportunities from other people. That offered me that opportunity. So, and also my company had folded up and sold to another company, and I didn't like this company's terms and conditions. They weren't very nice. They're not people I would be proud to work with. So I took a an agency shift to work at a GP surgery on one of my days off, and everyone there was lovely. And I thought, oh, this would be nice. Anyway, after that, they called me and said, oh, we're gonna have someone going on maternity. Can you work of fixed contract for 1 year? I'm like, yeah, why not? So I tendered my resignation at the ambulance service. That's how I got into GP surgery. I was going home to see people, disabled people, elderly people, people that were too sick to go out but didn't need an ambulance. Sometimes you get there and you see they need an ambulance, and I call an ambulance for them. I was assessing them, reporting back to the doctors. That way, I am not a prescriber, but the doctors were so nice. They helped me to understand medications, what you take for this, the contraindications, and it was very good. I enjoyed it. So then I left that job was in Croydon, and I lived in Hampshire. It was in Swindon, and I lived in Hampshire. For me, that I mean, it was an hour drive each way without, if there's no accident or roadworks. If there is traffic, then it becomes longer. So I was getting tired of driving that far. So after about a year and 3 months thereabout, a year and 2 months, I put my CV out again, and I found a job in Reading, which was closer to my house in Hampshire. So again, GP surgery, again, lovely people. I met the partners and all of that. This was a bit more structured. I had care homes that was looking after. It was two paramedics, but we did things very well. And also the other paramedic is well senior, so I had like a mentor, and then I had a doctor mentor as well. So it was very good. I went into that, and due to personal reasons, in the summer of 2024, I decided I wanted to leave Hampshire. I wasn't feeling very well, but before the summer, actually, I'd done, because I was thinking I wanted to leave that surgery and stuff. I'd done an interview for a functional assessor role. And I was offered the job, but I was supposed to start in November, because I had an holiday planned early November, and they didn't want me to start and then take a break. So they said, just start after your holiday. That's fine. So I moved to Ken, where I am now, and I started the job. And then, due to personal circumstances, I started the job in November 24. I left in August 25. And, I did all I needed to do. I'm sorted back. And by God's grace, I'm starting the functional assessor role again next week. Yeah, that's my career. In the midst of all of that, again, I have always cooked. I cook Nigerian food. There was a time I used to cook for bachelors or busy women or parties. I mean, there was a time that I cooked for AY and his crew when they came to do AY show in London. I cooked for Wizkid. I did that sort of cooking. Cocoa Bar was the thing then in Manchester. I cooked all of these things, but and I just enjoy cooking. Cooking is my kitchen is like my sanctuary. If I'm tired or feeling somehow, I go into the kitchen. Sometimes I just think of something in my head and think, oh, I think I should be able to do this. I get it done, and it becomes food or something good. So I enjoy concocting. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy driving. So I cook for people, so that's what gave birth to Flow Cuisine. And I am a traveler. Well, when I say traveler, I love traveling. If I had money, I wouldn't be in the UK more than 2 months in the whole year. That's just it, because I enjoy traveling. I love being in new places. I love trying other places, looking at culture and stuff. The only issue is I'm not very versatile with language, so I go to places where I know I can still speak English, right? Um, so I then, excuse me, um, so that Bones Flow Travels, where I like to curate holidays, put things together. I like to research things and put them together. I'm a scientist, so we enjoy researching. Anyway, I put those together, and then I was diagnosed with a chronic illness, and I thought, how can I make this better? So I started looking into herbals and thinking about it. I enjoy being in the kitchen and cooking and mixing things together. So that sort of fitted in very well for me. So I'm not a certified herbalist, but I do concoct things. Part of the things that I have done, and I know that that there's good feedback. I body butters, hair butter, hair oil, body oil, soap. I do all those things. I do for food and drinks as well, but I'll probably just keep that in the house and just do body, and stuff. I am in the process of going from using store bought products to homemade products all the way. I'm still doing that, so I'm hoping that sometime I'll show you some things about that. I'll be able to talk about that as well. Um, so those are what I do. Also, I run errands for people. Some people are in America and they want to get something in UK. Some people are in the UK. They want to get something in Nigeria. I have a link where I run errands. Even if you want to build a house in Nigeria, by God's grace, I've got the link to make sure that that's done right. Don't get it wrong, I don't sell stuff, but I have links that can to people that can supervise projects and 100% honesty and transparency. Right, so that's me. That's what I do. Um, so what gave birth to school was, I just thought, what, I have done a lot of things, pick this, pick that, da 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 da. Um, I wanted a little bit more, and I thought, what can I do? I'm not very good at camera. I If there were people here today, I probably would be stammering, but I'll get there. I thought, I speak Yoruba fluently. I read Yoruba very well, and I write Yoruba very well. You and I also speak Nigerian pidgin. Like, it's in the apple, it's in the soup now. So I do that as well, and I thought, right, I can teach this because a lot of people want to learn it. I think I can teach that. I can talk about travel. I can give insights into travel. Um, you know, seasons in traveling, where to go at what time, what you get, what you don't get. I can put holidays together. So a friend, thanks to SOP, a friend, Shokbe, said, it was last year, November. He actually said to me, he said, why don't you use this travel thing to connect people? And I thought, okay. So that's where the idea of bringing people from different backgrounds but that share the same values and interest into a group and put them, I mean, they go on holiday. I'm creating an avenue for people to meet each other. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a matchmaker. I don't want to be. My love life is so is that so yeah, let's leave that. But I want to create opportunities for people. For instance, if I have people that can be in a group, the Muslims, they don't eat pork, they want to have holiday but also have opportunities to pray 5 times a day. Um, where, if their values and their interests that they say might put them in a group, they meet each other, chances are you'll meet someone that things could start with you. Well, I don't know. Also family. So I have a family. I say I'm a family of two, mom and child, and there's a family of four, another family of three, and then I just say, do you know what? They want to go on holiday. They share their children's ages are around the same. They share common interests, so I can book a group holiday for them where they go on tours together. Number one is cheaper. Number two is safer. Number three, you're meeting people. So things like that. It could be you could be sharing interests as by religion, activities, beliefs, values. Just try and match people as much as I can. I mean, put same sort of people in the same environment as much as I can. So yeah, I'm excited. I always love to be in the service industry where I am giving something. I mean, I feel fulfilled when I feel like I am giving something to people. It's weird, but yeah, that's how I'm wired. Yeah, so that's me. Please join me on school. I promise you, you will get value for your time, for your money, if anything, because time is money, isn't it? You will get real value. I will talk. I am also a Christian. I don't like to use the word Christian. I say Christ believer. Um, I am not very. I'm not the sort of person that goes, boom, that's how it goes. But I believe in God. In Jesus. I believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and without Him, no one can see heaven. That's my belief. Um, you would see that in things that say there's got to be God, because there's no God, there's no me without God. So I'll talk about that. I'm sorry in advance if you don't like it, but that is what makes me who I am. It's part of my identity. um I'm a mom, so I'm always going to talk about my son. He's the ever best thing that happened to me. So I'm going to talk about him. I do aim that at some point I aim to bring people that are known, specialized in different things, to talk to us, to join us for live, to write a piece for us. That's I do have a big dream, and I do hope that you're here to enjoy that dream with me. Seriously, I can't do this alone. I promise you, I can't do it alone. I want you all in my community. Thank you very much for listening. I mean, I thought I was going to do like 5-10 minutes, but it's nearly half an hour. So I am really just going to let it go. I know there's no one on this live now. It's fine. Um, it's my first one, so I do understand. Thank you very much. I hope that as time goes on, there will be people on and more people. But in the meantime, thank you so much. Wherever you watch this, whether it's WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, school, I want to say a very big thank you. Don't forget to click on the link and join my community on school. Thank you very much, my Fiorinas. Thank you.